Hello and welcome to my home studio. I see a lot of people on YouTube posting videos of their home recording studio, so I figured I'd take a shot at mine. So we'll start off over here. I've got a few guitars which are currently sitting on a custom rack that I built myself a couple years ago. So from right to left, we've got a Strat, we've got an Epiphone Les Paul Custom, a cheap generic bass, 6-string, and a 12-string guitar. Above that, we've got DIY sound absorption panel, as well as a matching one in the other corner there. That's part of the acoustic treatment. The rest you can see. I've got your typical studio foam. And since this is a computer-based studio, we'll start off with the computer itself. It's a quad-core, 8 gigs of RAM, running Windows 7, 64-bit professional. To the left, on the bottom, is a sub. And then we've got just a little bookshelf stereo system, which I use to run these speakers here, which I use for referencing for playback. And then above that, most of you will obviously recognize the KRK Rokit 5s, which I use for monitoring and mixing. So directly in front of me, we've got the M-Audio Key Studio 49 key MIDI controller. And then we go to my interface, which is the Zoom R16. It's a great little device, and in fact I'll just turn this down a bit here. So it's an interface as well as a controller, and the nice thing is you can run all of this by USB, or you can use it as a standalone device and it records directly to SD cards. The faders all work within Cubase, which I am currently running, as well as the transport. There's a lot of features to this. This I can show you in a separate video maybe. It also has a couple built-in condenser microphones. Directly above that, I've got some power strips here. Keep in mind, these are not power conditioners. These are just power bars, if you will. So everything that is powered within the studio gets plugged into here, and then I have the option of turning on or off whatever items I choose. To the right of that, I have a cheap Behringer mixer. So the outputs from the Zoom go into there, the outputs from the stereo system go into there, and then they go out to the various speakers, and I can select which ones I choose to listen to. To the right of the mixer, I've got an external hard drive. That's a 1 terabyte hard drive. All my music projects are on there, so I record directly to it and play back from there, thus saving wear and tear and power consumption on the computer, mainly the main operating drive. It's a lot to stream the audio from the main operating drive when it's actually operating Windows. So to save the hassle and to make things run a lot smoother, I just do all my music from the external hard drive. Above the power strips, we've got the, it's an older interface I used to use until it crapped out on me. That is the M-Audio Firewire 410. It was a great little device when it worked. I use a 24-inch monitor, and I used to have different setups. I had 3 monitors here at one time. I was running off a 32-inch TV. I've tried different setups. Right now this seems to work for me. Good enough. Down to the left of the Zoom, you may have noticed a theme here already. Kind of keeping things low budget here. That's a Behringer headphone amp, so the headphone output from the Zoom goes into here, and then I can go out to 4 separate headphones if I want to. And to the left of that is the ART tube preamp. I will run the vocal mics as well as guitars through that, which of course is already plugged into the Zoom and ready to use and record. As well, on the bottom here I have some assorted patch cables. So if I want, I can plug a guitar directly into there, and of course it's already plugged into the Zoom, ready to go. I just have to select the right track and it's ready to go. And the only reason I would do that, go directly into the Zoom, is if I wanted to for guitar effects, I can bring up something within Cubase here. There's all kinds of guitar software out there that'll give you combinations of, different mixtures of mics, cabinets, all the different effects. So there's a lot of good software out there that you can use. So yeah, that's why I have just patch cables sitting there that if I want I can plug into and then just record directly into the Zoom using assorted software. So from there we go to, well, I guess what we could refer to as the, well, let's just call it the vocal corner. This is just to the left of my desk. I have a condenser microphone. This is the Audio-Technica 2020, along with a pop filter. And just hanging off of the stand for the pop filter, I've got some Shure headphones. These are the SRH 440s. Great headphones, love them. And then of course you can see the treatment behind there. And I've got some assorted artwork on the wall. To my left behind me, I've got a couple amplifiers. The one on the bottom is, it's an older tube amp. Couldn't even tell you what make and model it is. It is a generic amp. It actually does sound pretty good, but I don't use it much these days. These days it's there basically to keep the trainer off the floor. I am currently in a setup, so I'm set up in an apartment, so the less noise traveling to this floor and to the people below me, the better. So I have some different options here with the trainer. You'll see that I've got a dynamic microphone sitting in front of it right now, and it's just to the right, just off the center cone. And then the condenser microphone, which I just showed you a minute ago here, I will set it up here. Again, just to the left of the cone. For effects, I have the Line 6 Pocket Pod and the Digitech RP80. I don't really use either one of those all that often because, like I said, I can use software in the computer, but there are some tones that I do occasionally use from both devices. The other option that I have is I can have just off the back of the amp, I can have an output. There's an output there, so I can run a patch cable to the Zoom and then record that way as well. So that is my home recording studio in a nutshell. I'm trying to keep this short and simple, and well, as you've seen, it is a pretty basic setup. Kind of, well, okay, I call it low budget. Some of you may not see it that way, but it works for me. Anyway, that is the studio. If you have any questions or comments, or if you would like to see any other videos regarding some of the gear that I use here, or if you want to see maybe how the guitar rack was built, you know, maybe you're curious about the Zoom R16 or anything else that you see here, you can always shoot me a comment in the comment section below. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. See you soon.